Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Anonymous, and in this channel I make videos about gang stalking, primarily strategies on how to actually defeat it, which is what the internet is lacking. I tell you about the reality of gang stalking, about the mechanics of gang stalking, about how to understand it, but most importantly, on how to make any gang stalking operation completely futile. So the one reason that I have been able to understand gang stalking is not because I am really smart or anything like that. The reason is because I have had experience with a lot of people with narcissistic personality disorders. For some reason, since I have memory, that those are the types of people that gravitate to me. Why? I have no fucking clue. But that's how it is. I've accepted it. So with time, I have gotten my teeth sharpened, and by that I mean I have gotten calluses. I have gotten a lot of understanding. You know, if one narcissistic person can destroy one person for the rest of their life, imagine what like 7 or 10 will do to someone, one after the other. So that is me, but somehow I have always found ways to overcome those traumas. So the one thing that you have to know if you want to survive gang stalking or any person who has narcissistic tendencies is to know this one thing. There are people who have the ability to behave incredibly friendly to your face. However, their actions, they will be doing things to fuck you over. And these people are gonna have some type of emotional spell on you in such a way that you are gonna be completely oblivious to what they're doing to you, to your face. Yeah. So there's people who their actions are gonna tell you, I fucking hate you and I want to destroy you, but I have to pretend to like you, and in order for me to have access to you, so that you will lower your guard and not see what I'm actually doing to you, to your face. And that's one of the most heartbreaking things that you can possibly realize, because what's gonna happen once you see this reality, you think about many relationships that you had, many things that happened to you, and then you're gonna see that a lot of these were masterminded by people who fucking hated your guts, and they wanted to destroy you, and you were just completely blindsided by how they treated you to your face. But you didn't realize that there were actually a lot of things that maybe felt a little bit odd. However, you were unable to put your finger on exactly what was it that struck you as odd. And then you're gonna realize that, you know, the reason they interrupted you so frequently was because they wanted you to forget about what you were gonna say, or the reason that they pretended that they dropped something of yours is because they were jealous that you had it and they didn't want you to have it because they weren't able to have it for themselves. Or a lot of times, maybe you realize that the reason that we're around you began behaving differently towards you because that person, even though they played the victim and they just painted you as the worst person possible, and you were completely oblivious to these things. So that's exactly how it is. Gang stalkers, narcissists, they're the same type of people. There's no differentiation whatsoever. There just isn't. And yeah, once you understand it, once you're able to see and differentiate, once you're able to notice people, even complete strangers, that are behaving in a weird manner to you, that are just asking you a lot of questions that are redundant and necessary. They might not actually be stupid, but they might actually be asking you a question to get on your nerves. There is an overabundance of ways that people can fuck you over. How? I'm gonna tell you what I've experienced. A person, for example, let's say that you really care about your job, right? So then this person gets close to you and goes and has sex with you and keeps you up all night in order for you to fuck up at work, in order for you to be tired. Our person just can pretend to be interested in having a conversation with you, and they are just trying to take your time just so that you don't work on your projects. Another example is that, let's see, well, I have given a lot of examples, but there's a lot of these examples that, or someone can ask you for a favor, and then ask you for another favor, and then another one, and then another one, and next thing you know, you have stopped taking care of your own self just to help this other person. You know, there is a lot of ways that someone can actually fuck you up, that someone can destroy you without you even realizing it. But this is the thing about it. These people do not really care about themselves, because they're spending their time on fucking you over. That much tells you how important you are to them, don't you think? And the faster you are able to recognize these tactics, the faster you can recognize that these people exist everywhere, that are willing to invest their time into destroying you. That is when you are gonna realize that these people are toxic. So what do? You have to completely block them, get rid of them in every single way, shape, and form. That's it. You have to eliminate any type of access that these people have to you. Once you, this is the thing, these people are persistent. They're incredibly persistent. But once you get the hang of it, it's gonna become incredibly, significantly easier for you to discern between someone who actually wants to get to know you and someone who is just trying to make you waste your time. What is a psychological attack? A psychological attack is pretty much someone trying to talking to you, pretending to have a casual conversation, or having an item, saying something, even making a glance to make you think of it's some type of gesture that is intended for you to have a very particular effect on you, either a particular thought, a particular memory. For example, in my gangstalking operation, I was being bombarded with pictures of dicks, of holes, of people smoking crystal meth, with questions: are you PMP? Are you into bareback sex? This, that. Not because they were actually curious, not because they didn't know, but because they knew who I was. They knew my vices. And they wanted to exploit that in order for me to behave in a manner that is conducive to self-destruction. And the thing is that this comes from strangers. That's what gangstalking is a lot of people conspiring to attack you psychologically. The thing is that if you don't know where the psychological attacks are coming from, you can't block them. These attacks are super underhanded and they can be easily denied. You know, there's no proof. You can't have evidence. You know, the evidence comes when all of a sudden you see a bombardment of these messages. Like when I was off Grindr for like 6 or 7 months, the moment I would put my picture and put effort, I would do this on purpose. And I would get people bombarding me with cock, ass, crystal meth, VMP. A bunch of them. I swear to God, like 10, like dozens of them. In a matter of minutes. It was quite uncanny. But that's the reality of it. And do you know how long it took me to realize that that's how I was being turned into a fucking sex addict, crystal meth addict, homeless person? It took me like 6 or 7 years to figure that out. And guess what? The second I began blocking all of that, all of a sudden I'm getting the best body I have ever had. All of a sudden I'm doing fantastic at work. All of a sudden I am not using any drugs consistently. All of a sudden I have all my ducks in order. All of a sudden I have a surplus of money. All of a sudden I am actually doing well in life. Yeah, dude. That's how effective that shit is. You know, and so this is gonna sound weird, but if you're too perfect, people are gonna fucking hate your guts. I modeled. I was a very successful personal trainer. I have published books. I've made, I used to make like $700 a day. I used to have any days off that I wanted. I lived in a beautiful apartment. I driven Range Rovers, BMWs, Lexus. I was always incredibly fit. I was always at all the biggest parties. I was too perfect. White as teeth from any other person you're gonna meet. And not only that, I was really, really nice. I still am. I'm an asshole to people who are indirectly attacking me. But let me tell you, if you're too perfect, people are gonna fucking hate your guts, man. You're gonna know who I am later. I'm really creative. I can run a personal training business like no other. I was self-employed and people fucking hated me, dude. And I was completely oblivious to that hate. Absolutely oblivious. When I would walk somewhere, people would know I was there because I would always have the hottest clothes, the hottest everything. And that's just me. I was never trying to upstage anyone. That's what people hated more about me. That I was not trying to upstage anyone. That's just who I am as a person, And I want, I used to, even when people hated me, I was completely oblivious because I never had the mind of competing above others or with other people. I was completely oblivious to any type of competition. I'm just do me, and that's it. You know, whatever endeavor I threw myself at, I was always wildly successful at it. And that's the thing that people hated about me, because I really didn't give two fucks about anyone else. I would just do me, and people would just, and I would do super well anything I did. And yeah, so that, I think that's why I ended up getting gangstalked. Because I was just because I really was completely oblivious to people, and I never really considered myself anything other than myself. I never compared myself to others. Now that I see that I think the way they would look at each other, you know, then you come to realize, whenever you're doing really good, people are gonna fucking hate you. And I guess that was enough for people to fucking gangstalk me. I was on television. Like, I had my own TV show. Not my TV show, but my own fitness segment. You know. And, you know, I was manipulated by all my boyfriends. Because once they got too close to me, they grew jealous. And that's just the reality of things, you know. And that's how I know that people will pretend to care about you. They will try to spend as much time with you as possible so that they have some type of control over you. And this is one thing that typically only people who have endured narcissistic abuse are people that are, these are the people that are gonna know this. And yeah, like when you meet someone like that, they're gonna pretty much make you forget about you, stop taking care about yourself and taking care of them. And you're not even gonna know what's happened to you. Your life is gonna revolve around this. Same thing with gangstalkers. My life revolved around gangstalking, you know. And gangstalking is filled with people like that. They're gonna be doing things to fuck you over, but they're gonna be little things. But the moment that everyone around you is doing a little bit of fucking you up, it fucking accumulates significantly. And it is incredibly detrimental. One person sending me a picture of them smoking meth doesn't do anything. One person sending me a picture of their asshole is not gonna do anything. Another person sending me a picture of their cock is not gonna do anything. But once you log online on any hookup app, and you have 30 people asking you the same question, do you PMP, sending you pictures of them smoking crystal meth, offering you to come in their hole, asking you to come in your hole, or to have unprotected bareback sex, or to have you do drugs, you know, and everyone is all of a sudden, when they invite you, and then when you get to them, they just like log off. And then they keep you consistently looking for stuff. And then they keep your mind just, not unraveled, but engulfed in perversions. And you cannot even be on any type of, you cannot even, and not only that, but when you're looking for sex, they abstain it. And they don't actually give you satisfaction. So that you're looking for more. Like, it is a sinister act of destroying you. But it is done in such a way that it is impossible for you to know unless you know what is actually being done. And the thing is that I never said anything because I know that one of the culmination of narcissistic abuse is for you to publicly announce, to fight it, to try to make this person look like what they actually are, a psychopath. You're gonna have a bunch of narcissists, they're monkeys, they're flying monkeys, come at you and attack at you, telling you that you're crazy, that you're psycho. Why? Because he already or she already painted the picture of what you were gonna do, because they want the reaction, that blowout. In gang stalking, the blowout you're supposed to have is to publicly announce that you're being followed by people, that there's people controlling you, that there's direct energy weapons, all this conspiracy to destroy you. And once you announce that, they're gonna be like, you're fucking crazy, dude. What's wrong with you? You need to seek help. That's everything you're gonna seek. So that's why gang stalking has never reached its culmination with me. Because I know what it's supposed to do. You're not supposed to know what it's gonna do to you. But they want you to speak out publicly, making yourself look like a psychopath, a crazy person, a person that it's lost its sanity. However, I already know this. From the very beginning, your gang stalking is supposed to convince you of all these crazy ideas. And let me tell you, it convinces me, but I always knew to not say anything. And yeah, I was convinced, dude, that there were direct energy weapons. I was convinced that I was getting followed. And the thing is that the mechanics of your brain are messed in such a way, the mechanics of your perceptions are messed in such a way that you actually believe these things. Which is why we're actually going through the book Battle for the Mind, the mechanics of indoctrination and brainwashing. That's actually what my next video is going to be. And actually, I'm done with this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I have to start working on chapter 2. And chapter 2 is going to cover how, even though we are more advanced beings at dogs, they are actual mechanics of thought, mechanics of your brain. So people can do things to a brain, to you, that will give a very specific result. Like if you were a fucking animal. And that's just how it is. And my goal here is to help you recognize them. Recognize what effect they're supposed to have and how to stop them. All right? Thank you so much for watching. Bye.